Got a little 2.5 ton going here. There's this afternoon's coil job. We had a 2-year-old house with a coil. It's got a leak in it. Uncased coil here. Corey's got the old guy tore out here. The new one's ready to go. Setting the pad. I'm going to go in and tear that line set out and get that new coil in. So here's our situation. Just going to pull that chimney off of there. Kill this power. In case the homeowner decides to turn it on. We got wires hanging everywhere. We don't want to short the ground. Blow the fuse on the board or take out a transformer depending on what's going on in here. And easy up and out with the line set. The line set ran perfect length. Corey's getting ready to solder. I got to get these caps off so he can flow nitrogen, and then I got to get my coil in here. Just make sure you don't block off any of the air openings with your rails that you're going to put in here, and hopefully pitch to the drain, because if you block any of this little guy off, you could end up with low airflow and freezing, low suction pressure. So I always start, I'm going to mount this back rail plenty high to give it some distance between the furnace if I have room. We got a really tall plenum here, so we're going to go up about 6 inches or so, mount that level, and then we'll do our sides, laying right on the back, and pitch it slightly to the front. And then the last thing, we don't screw the front left until we set this on here and get a level to make sure it's pitched. So we want to pitch that slightly to the drain, you know, just a little bit like that, to come to our drain on the left side of the coil. And then you can screw it down to the side rails. But before you do that last screw, you got to measure to make sure this is the same distance as your snap block or whatever, you know, distance between here. If you're going to screw this together so it can't move, you need to make sure it's exactly the same as what's got to go into these slots here to put your plenum back together. Rail on this right side here, so you can see that's about 1 inch. I can take about 1 inch off of that rail. I got plenty over here. I had room to go left, but then all these little guys are getting too close to this side, and I don't want them rattling on that wall over there, all these little cap tubes. That one we're doing this afternoon with that 2-year-old aluminum coil, I'm sure it was one of the cap tubes that was leaking in there when I checked it last week. So you got to be real careful about all this stuff touching in here. It's just a nightmare. So I'm going to move this coil over and cut that rail back to that line there. And we should have our full airflow going up in this little guy here. Okay, I got these lines wrapped. We're protecting make sure that little screen doesn't fall out of there on these carrier ones. ICP, carrier, Bryant, whatever. Payne, all the same coil. We're wrapping both lines. Suction line, because the TXV bulb is strapped on right here. We don't want to overheat that and lose our charge. And then the expansion valve's right behind here, so we don't want to overheat that either. Wet rag. Just gonna bend this in here. Probably put a street 90 on there, I'm guessing. Did this whole outside by himself. He's got the vacuum running out here. Thumb gum. Looking good. In here we're looking for 10 degrees subcooling, which means that pink number on the high side should be 10 degrees above the number right there, which is the temperature of the little line right there. So that's what we're doing.